Hi, fashion lovers. Guys, today we are making this short trending gown, okay? As usual, you know how we do it. We'll go for a calculation first. And looking at this blouse, the gown, you can see that it is a breast tube, okay? You can equally work with any other that you wish to. But for your for the bust to sit properly on it, you need to go for a breast tube. Okay, so this is the calculation showed that 16 divided by 2 plus 40 divided by 4 because we fold fabric by 4, right? Now whatever it gives me, I'll add my allowance. Okay, now it depends the kind of dart you decide to go for, but the minimum is 3 inches, all right, or 4 inches to be added. Then my waist is 26 divided by 4, 6.5 plus my dart and sewing allowance. Then hip 40 divided by 4 plus my sewing allowance and the rest of them. Okay, now the half length is 16, the gown length is 36. Now this gown is this particular style we're working on is short gown. Okay, so 36 is short on the person, bust point 10, on the bust 14, and the half length is 16. So let's go. Now this is my pattern paper. Okay, remember what I usually say, cut it on the pattern paper. It makes it easy, all right, before placing it and tracing it out. So this is my pattern paper. Okay, now for me to continue, I'll need to get my chest, shoulder to my chest, shoulder to the point where I want um the dress to start. Okay, now for this calculation I'll be using 7 as my chest, that is my shoulder to my chest. Okay, I'll be going for 7, or I will equally say I'll be going for 7 as my armhole depth. Okay, the point where you mark your armhole, I'll be going for 7. That is what I did now. Now where I'm marking right now from the tape gives me 7. The next thing is my bust point. All right, my bust point is 10. My under bust is 13, which is what I'm marking, and my half length is 16 and a half. This is, I just marked them. The next thing I'll do right now is take my rule and connect it properly. Now, it is important whenever you're working with a breast tube, any kind of dress, all right, there are measurements that are important. Bust point is very important. Now, my bust point and my chest line can be adjusted. Yes. Now, if you already know your bust point, okay, you can decide to reduce, add to the chest, if you wish to. So I've marked it out. The next thing I'll do right now is just, label chest. This is the upper part. Let's call it chest, the part that is open. Okay, that's my bust point, and the next is my under bust. Okay, then my waist or half length, whichever one it is. Okay, so having gotten all the basic lines out, the next thing, guys, is to start with my nipple to nipple. Now I'll be working with 4 for my nipple to nipple. All right, according to the calculation, my nipple should be 3.5, but I added half to it, giving me 4. Okay, so I'm working with 4 for the nipple to nipple. So I'll just mark it all through straight from the bust to the bust point to the under bust to the waist. I'll be marking 4. Then I'll take my rule and connect it straight. All right. That is my nipple to nipple that I just marked. Now there's no bust, bustier without nipple to nipple. Okay. It is very crucial, it is very important. Now, that is my nipple to nipple. I just marked. And I went for 4, like I said earlier. I used 4. So it is 4 I worked with. Now, what next? You come, this is my bust point. Alright. The distance between my bust point is giving me 3.5. Alright. For me, I can decide it's too big. I can reduce it to maybe 3 or 2.5. Now, if you think I should reduce it or it should be reduced, drop it on the comment section, okay? So once I've determined it's okay for me, I'll go to my underboss and mark 1 inches. Now, I'm marking 1 inches on both sides. Okay, 1 inches on this side, 1 inches on this side. I'll take my rule and connect. Okay, now watch where I'm marking my 1 inches, the under bust. The same thing on the waist. The same thing I marked on the under bust is what I marked on the waist. Okay, so having marked this the way it is right now, the next thing is come up where I just placed my tape, the chest part of it. You can go for 1/2 inches if you wish. You can go for 3/4 if you wish. Any of these two is okay. So if you think 1/2 or 3/4 is better, please do drop it on the comment section, okay? So I'll connect, all right? Now the connection I did right now is 3/4, not 1/2. Okay, I'm equally connecting the one of the 1/2, but for me, I'll be working with the 3/4. All right. So having done that, the next thing to do is to cross check my length of the blouse. Remember, we're working with 36 as my length. Okay, remember we're working with 36. So I just want to reconfirm it gives me 36. It is very important, especially for the front pattern. Okay, the front pattern, we are cutting it, there is no joining on the center. So now, having confirmed the length to be 36, I'll mark the same thing I marked. That 4 inches I marked, okay? Then I'll take my rule and connect straight. Now, I decided to go straight because I don't want any part of the center front of this dress being bigger. Like, I want it to be straight. I don't want one part being big and the other part, not being big. I want it to be the same and even from the waist down to the gown length. So that is why I'm going for straight. That is 1 inches on both sides. You can see how I placed it and connected it. I just got the center. The next thing, I'll place and mark the same 1 inches. This side too, the same 1 inches down. Good. Now this is it. Okay. This is it. So guys, after getting to this level, what is left is I'm yet to mark my bust and waist measurement. Remember, according to the calculation, we are working with bust 40. When divided by 4, it gives us 10. So 10 10 plus allowance. So at the end, I'll be having 14 inches for the bust. For the waist, I'll be having 10.5. Okay, so So then now we need to come to the center for our V. If you watch this dress, there's a V. Now your V can be half inches, it can be 3/4 inches, whichever one. Now the length can be at that bust point that I just circled, or maybe 1 inches above the bust point. So for you, which one are you okay with? Is it right at the bust point or 1 inches above the bust point? Let me know on the comment section. Or do you think half is okay? Half or 3/4? Let me know on the comment section, okay? Now, these are the markings I did. Which one do you think? The first one is half inches to 1 inches before the bust point. The second one is 3/4 inches to bust point, and equally half inches to bust point. So which one do you think is better? Let me know on the comment section. All right, so we have gotten to this level, and we are still on point. Next is for us to start marking our measurements accurately the way it should be. Okay, is to mark our measurement the way it should be. Now you get your French curve and place it the way you want it. But the French curve is not actually giving me what I want. So in this case, I will be using the French curve and freehand, okay, to achieve my desired result. Okay, so I'll be using the French curve, freehand and French curve to achieve it. Now just watch what I did. Okay, I connected it to the line, to the nipple to nipple line. Then the next is for us to mark our bust measurement 10. Then what I have left is my sewing allowance. Okay, now for the waist we have 6.5. All right, then the rest is sewing allowance. Now if we are dealing with bust point, for the bust you can go with 4, as your allowance, while on the waist you go with 5 as your allowance. That is if it is armhole depth. If it is breast tube, okay? So after curving, the next is for us to cut. All right, and remember our chest is 7 inches, okay? Yours can be more. Now if you watch my center, where I'm cutting now can be reduced. You see the distance from the bust point and the chest. If you think it's too big, you can reduce it to maybe your chest will be 8. Now we are cutting through. This is how you cut. Now you can cut straight first, all right? Then sew the pad, the dart before curving. The curving I curved from the waist, all right, can be done once the padding, the sewing is, after the sewing, the joining of the padding, once it's done, you can do that, or you can equally cut, all right, and join. Whichever one, but for a beginner, it is better you sew your pad, finish the padding, when you're done with the sewing, you can easily cut. You can easily give it the shape you want. All right, so we are cutting every other thing. That is it. So our front pattern is ready. Okay, that is it. That is it. Now the next thing right now is for us to cut the V part of it. Watch, I'm going for half and the length will be bust point. Okay, so let's open it up and see how it looks. That is the front pattern. Okay, so guys, so far if you have any question, drop it on the comment section, and if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe on the channel. Do subscribe. Okay, so guys, you can see this is the back that I'm about to cut. Okay, now the back of this dress, you can see it on the picture that the back stopped at the half length. So you can see I just placed 7. The down is my half length. Okay, once I've done that, the next thing is there will be zip on this dress. So I'm making zip allowance, which is zip allowance is 1.5. That is what I just marked now. All I need to do is connect it and connect the zip allowance, then label zip allowance. Okay, yeah, zip allowance. That is the first thing. There is zip at the back of this dress. Now, having gotten the zip allowance, my upper part will be my bust, while the down part will be my waist. So at the upper part, I'll just measure my bust measurement. Now, the back, there is no breast tube. It's not a breast tube at the back. You can work with a normal waist dart, a normal dart, all right? So the allowances at the back will be less, okay? The allowance to be added will be less. So having marked the bust, let's mark the waist. That is the waist 6.5. Then we'll get rule and connect. So once you mark your body measurement, you mark your allowance. Allowance is by choice, okay? Like I said, the back that is less is not a princess that, neither is it a bustier, okay? So therefore the dart will be less. So I just added 2 inches to the back. All right, let's write that on it as sewing allowance. That is sewing allowance. Now the next thing is you cut. This should be thrown out, and this is all we need for our back. So that is our back, guys. You can see it. The back is just straight, all right? And the side has to be the same with the front. So let's just bring our front and place it. Now, how do you make this dress? Now you can use any kind of fabric to make it. Another thing is, if you want the V, you can equally add the strap on the V part, or a belt or something, rope to tie the V part of it. Some of them do fall off, okay? But for you to sew this V part, you need to try and make it stand firm. It has to be firm for it to fit in. Some don't fit, therefore they opt for rope, okay, to tie it, just like you're seeing on the video, on the picture you're seeing on your screen. All right, so this is how it looks. If you have any question, drop it on the comment section. what you just need to do is get your fabric and cut gathers. So for example, we have 36 as gown length. We minus our half length of 16 inches. What is left is 20. So the total gown length gathers we have to cut is 20. Okay. Now this gathers needs to be full. Like it needs to be very full for you to achieve the same result. Okay, now if your waist is for example, this calculation we're working with waist 26. If I want to get a perfect full gathers, what I'll do is times 26 times 4. It will give me a full gathers more. All right, so what you just need to do is cut gathers and attach it from the back, attach it from one center front to the next center front, that is it, and your dress is ready. Okay, now if you have any question, drop it on the comment section. And for the sleeve, if you want video of the sleeve, do comment on the comment section. I'll be dropping it soon.